Hey guys, happy Sunday! Yay! I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Those of you that are celebrating the Memorial Day weekend, I hope that you have had a fabulous weekend so far. And if you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And if you want to learn a little bit more about me, you can check out all my information down below. My website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, all that good stuff. But it looks like we already have some homies in here. Hey Susie, how are you? She says, hope everyone is having a beautiful weekend. She goes, what a beautiful photo you have. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the cactus flower. So it was crazy, here because it was like all the flowers just bloom, like exploded all at once, like the scarlet hedgehog, which is the flower that's in the picture of the flower on the cactus in the picture. Our yucca was blooming. The Apache rose was all blooming. And now everything's kind of turning to fruit, but other stuff is starting to bloom. Like our little ground plums, they actually sound like little rattles now that they're dry, which is kind of cool. A lot of our wild lettuce is growing, so it's just cool, kind of seeing how everything is turning out. Kayla, hey, how are you? Susie is doing good. Janine is here. Hello, hello. All right, you guys. So yeah, we have family in town for a little bit. So James's mom and dad is here. His sister, his brother-in-law, his nephew. The family dog is here. So we are figuring out what kind of adventure we're going to go on today. Um, oh, Kayla is also doing good. Excellent. So yeah, all right. Well, today here on our live chat, we're going to be taking a look into our weekly reading. So, looking into the energy of this upcoming week, also taking a look at the Mind astrology that we have for this week, the herb that I have picked out for this week. And then towards the end of the chat, we'll do some a viewers poll, some super super stickers and super chats for anybody who would like me to pull a card for them. And then we'll do our healing. Alrighty, so let's see. Let's go ahead and start off with a few little thank yous. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody who is subscribed to this channel and everybody who pops into the live chats, whether you're a lurker or you like to sit and chat with us. People that like to watch the replays, thank you. And all the thumbs ups, all the comments, I appreciate them all. Thank you so much. And yeah, I also want to thank all of my YouTube members. So, a YouTube member as somebody who does kind of a donation support here on YouTube. You'll know who they are because they have a little colored kitten head next to their name. So you see it next to Susie's name, but thank you also to Liesel and Heather and Kayla, who's here. You see it next to Kayla's name. Jamie and Jamie Lynn, thank you guys so much. And also for everybody who's done super chats and super stickers in the past, that also helps tremendously. Thank you for allowing me, everybody who's allowed me to read for them. But I also want to thank my patrons. So over on Patreon, I have different tiers with different offerings for each tier, depending on what you're most interested in. And I do welcome all input from my YouTube members, my patrons, my subscribers of videos you guys would like to see, channelings you'd like me to do, or maybe even things you would like to see here during the live chat. But thank you to Surian and Brandy and Samara and Kayla, Jason and Charles and Brian and Jamie and Alexandra, Dana and Nancy. Thank you. All right, so let's go in and cast our elemental circle. I actually have James's wand here. Well, I mean, it's my wand, but I bought it from James a while back. It's this wonderful eucalyptus wood. He has this wonderful quartz sphere and this gorgeous quartz point. It's just like all the earthy vibes. So we're going to be calling in the elementals of the 4 directions, starting at the north, which is technically like right over there. So let's get all settled in. All right, so calling in the elementals of the north to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the east to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the south to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the west to help us to cast our circle today. All right. The circle is cast. Let our work begin. And so it is. All right, you guys. I am digging using a StreamYard for our live chat. So hopefully you guys like it. Let me know if you'd rather me just go directly off of YouTube or continue here on StreamYard. But I like to have the little flair, that kind of goes around this picture. But okay, you guys. Let's take a look at our goodies. Oh, that's right. Let's go into the Mayan date. So you might be wondering why I'm talking about Mayan astrology. Well, that's because I'm a Mayan astrologist, and actually I got to talk a little bit about it on Susie's channel. She had a wonderful interview with our friends Dana and Lisa, and then I got to jump on her channel. She had an interview with me. I got to channel Pluto. But we got to talking about astrology because, of course, Susie is a fabulous Western astrologer, and I love my Mayan astrology. But she's taken my course, so by the way, yes, I do have a course, and you can find that through the Leon Mystery School, which is on my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, but also I have the direct link down below. Okay, Susie says, you look great and sound great. Well, thank you. It's nice and warm out today. I got to wear some light clothes. Let me see. Let me just move the camera a little bit. There we go. Okay. So the Mayan date for today. Well, first of all, we are in the week of Kimi, and that started 5 days ago. And Kimi is known as death and rebirth. It is basically the embodiment of Xibalba, which is considered the underworld. So the theme kind of throughout this week is kind of like the death card, I would say, where it's all about shedding a layer of skin or shedding beliefs, shedding something that no longer serves us and beginning something anew, something fresh. And sometimes when that happens, we get down to some layers that we haven't tapped into before. And so things can get quite sensitive. So make sure that you guys are really taking care of yourselves this week as well. Susan said, love her course, highly recommendable. Thank you. So keeping that in mind, this death and rebirth, this transformation, and also it being perhaps a maybe sensitive time energetically for a lot of people, today is 5 Ak. So the number 5, I was actually born under the number 5 in my astrology. I'm 5 Akbal. That's, I guess, my sign, maybe, in my astrology. But the number 5 is all about speed and quickness, and sometimes that's good, but sometimes that could work to our detriment as well. And Ak is all about law and order. So if we're thinking about death and transformation and renewal and things like that, oh, baby Conrad's asleep, it sounds like. Oh, his nephew's only about a year and a half old, so he was down for a nappy right now. But this is all about our personal law and order, not the TV show, but how we govern ourselves, and that nobody outside of us really controls us. We control ourselves. We may say, oh, so and so made me do it, but we always have a choice. Sometimes we make our choices, through coercion, through fear, but we have to be cognizant, that yes, I am taking responsibility of making this choice. And also, of course, if somebody is coercing you or trying to push you to do something through scare tactics or fear tactics, yes, they are incurring some sort of karma as well. They also have to deal with the responsibility of their actions. But this is all about us and what we are responsible for, which is ourselves. And so don't be so quick, with that number 5, to judge yourself or to say, this is, all I can do, or this is all I'm allowed to do. Based on our past, or based on our governments or the people around us, society, whatever it may be, and really slowing down. I know number 5 is all about speed, but maybe let's use that 5, that speed, to transmute things, to shed things, and then maybe use the inverse of the number 5 to slow down when it comes to just quickly making decisions without thinking about them. So yeah, I like this energy that we're in today. And then we go on into 11 Kib this coming Saturday, which is actually the day before my brother's birthday. So June 4th, my brother will be turning, what is he going to be turning? Hold on, I have to count. He's going to be turning 36. Yeah, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, yeah, because I'm 6 years older. So my baby brother is going to be turning 36. James's sister actually just had her birthday yesterday. All the Gemini babies in the house. And I was thinking of, maybe doing a full-on reading for my brother. I thought maybe he might appreciate that. But let me know if you guys wouldn't mind if I could get my brother doing a live chat with us again. I know he came on here once before, and it really kind of does depend on my brother's schedule too, because I don't, his schedule always changes. He works at the Coca-Cola plant up in the Bay Area. And so I'll figure out a schedule, but if you guys want, and if I can make it happen, I don't know if it would be this coming Sunday, but let me know if you wouldn't mind having my brother here. And he wouldn't physically be here, but we could do a little chat see together. So, okay. So moving on. So yes, this upcoming Saturday, day before my little bro's birthday, is 11 Keep. And keep is all about forgiveness, but that forgiveness and our transgressions, it's all connected to Mama Gaia as well. It's also the Nahual, or the spirit of Mama Gaia. And in Mama Gaia, we have everything that came before us, everything that is in the present, and everything that will come after us. So it's also a representation of our future, but also our past. So it's a good time to honor ancestors as well during that time, to forgive, to let go. And it's a very healing date. And the number 11 is neutral. It's a high number, so it's a powerful number, but it's neutral. So you can kind of take it one way or the other. How do you want to work on forgiveness? Who do you want to forgive? Are you going to be forgiving yourself? Because oftentimes I think it's harder for us to forgive ourselves than it is to forgive other people. And forgiveness doesn't mean, let's say something terrible happen to you or to someone else. Forgiveness doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It's saying, I don't want to hold on to this trauma anymore, so I release it. I forgive what happened because I don't want to hold on to it. I release it back to you, and if you want to work on the healing, great, but I'm going to work on my healing. That's what forgiveness is. It's cutting those cords so that we don't constantly get caught up in that loop of the past and relive it over and over again. Nobody deserves that. So that is what forgiveness is. Okay, so some wonderful healing energy. Like I said, some very transformational energy going on this week. And by the way, I'm feeling those transformational vibes as some shadows have come up, as they do. Okay, so we have some homies coming on in. Let me take a look at the chat here. Oh, John is here. Hey, how are you? How's your weekend going? And Susie wishing my brother Brian happy birthday. John's like, I work. Thanks, though. Well, hopefully it's a fun day at work. Susie said, we love him. I adore him. Please do. Excellent. Kayla says that would be fun. Billy, oh my gosh, girl, long time no see. Billy's here. She said, birthday wishes to your brother and lots of love to everyone. So sorry for the neglect. Hey, no worries. We're just happy to see you here today. That is fabulous. Janine says, I've never seen your bro before, but that would be interesting. Well, I will say that when the two of us get together, you guys think I laugh a lot, times two, my brother. You guys think that I'm goofy, times two, my brother. So it's getting the two of us. We'll just like, I don't know, it's like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. That's us, or thing one and thing two. I'm not sure. Billy says, hiya, sorry for not being around. Lots of life stuff made that tricky. How is everyone? We're doing great up here. Got some family in town. I'm super stoked. Kayla said, always love a 3-day weekend. Yeah. Sue says, they both have the same laugh. Dude. Okay, so yeah, if you get my dad, my brother, and I in a room together, my stepmom says we sound like a bunch of hyenas. So I take that as compliment. Let's see. Billy said, bring on the bro. Look forward to seeing you together. Yeah, I would love to have my brother on here. And he said he really enjoyed it last time. And he said he wouldn't mind coming back. But it's just, he's got this crazy work schedule. He works like the graveyard shift. So normally he sleeps during the day. So I just have to find like a good time. But I would love to have him on. And I know that he wouldn't mind. And it'd be crazy that day. So just prepare yourselves. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, the herb of the week. So I know that I have some some herby folks in here, those of you that love to work with plants and work with the flora, and some of you would consider yourselves green witches. Some of you guys consider yourselves kitchen witches. And some of you guys are just, herbalists and gardeners and things like that. So I have an herb for you. Eyebright. Kind of looks like a little brownish powder. It's been pulverized into a powder here. But eyebright, it's actually something that I used yesterday for James's dad. But we'll start with the magical portion of it before we get into maybe some physical uses for eyebright. Magically speaking, it's used to, well, I would say a lot of it is in the name, eye bright. So think of anything connecting to the third eye or the crown chakra. So anytime you want some clarity, if you feel like your, psychic ability is kind of, a little blocked at the moment or muddled, sometimes that happens depending on the energies, or, sometimes we're blocking ourselves for one reason or another. And you want to uncover maybe some of those reasons. Eye bright is really good to use in ceremony. You can make it as a tea and make it a part of your altar work or your spell work if you want to do that. But it's also really good at encouraging memory of something. So like if you were going into a deep meditation, you wanted to burn some eyebright or use it as an offering, and asking the plant to help you to recover something in your memory that has been lost. Although on the physical sense, it does help physically with memory, just kind of keeping those synapses going. So again, using it in tea would be really nice. But also helps to encourage a positive outlook. So if you've been feeling kind of like ho-hum, down in the dumps, eyebright's a really nice tea for that. Also, again, really good for meditation, really good for using as an offering or burning as an incense. I might have some tea later on today, as I've been having this like kink in my neck for like 2 weeks now. It's becoming a bother. It's a kink in my neck. So anyway, physically speaking, many people who own horses tend to use this as an eye wash for horses, but it's not just for horses. People use it too. It's just, since people usually use eye drops or something like that, they don't use too much eyebright anymore, but it's still effective. It's good enough for horses. It's good enough for people. You just have to make sure that you strain out the powder as much as possible. So you just have the liquid. You can make yourself an eye wash. If you don't want to actually put it into your little eyeballs, which I didn't. I didn't put it into James's dad's eyeballs. I boiled up 2 cups of water. I put in about a tablespoon of eyebright, mixed it up, let it cool down a little bit, and I put a washcloth in there, and I just had him put the washcloth over his eyes, let that soak in for about 10-15 minutes with his eyes closed to take a nice little nap. And it helps with histamine, so if your histamine is like going crazy because of some allergic response. I know that around here we have a lot of juniper dust, and when it gets kind of windy, people's allergies kick up. Even if you don't really have allergies, people's eyes get a little watery, noses get runny. So he said it helped. He was trying to take everything for his eyes. He took some Claritin. He took his wife's eye drops. But I think, with the eyebright as well, he was fine the rest of the evening. So hey, maybe you guys want to give that a try. Susan said eyebright, sending healing Tara. Thank you so much. She's saying what a great idea. So yeah, hey guys, try out some eyebright, and it's relatively inexpensive. It's actually pretty cheap. You can get a lot of eyebright for just a few dollars. So again, making it into a tea. I don't think it has too much of a taste as a tea. It's just maybe a little earthy tasting. So I like to mix it with other things, like maybe like some hibiscus or something, give it a little bit more flavor. But definitely on the eyes, really good. So taking away the inflammation, taking away, any sort of allergic response, it just kind of soothes things. And plus, it being warm water that was in warm, well, not the boiling water, I let that cool down. That also helps as well to just kind of calm things down. So there we go. That is our herb of the week. Okie dokie. Let's see. Billy said, I use Vaseline inside my nose to minimize hay fever symptoms. The pollen dust bunnies stick to that instead of going so far in. Less sneezing. That's a good idea. So, hey, Billy's got a fabulous idea as well. If you guys want to try that, that would actually be really good for maybe a couple of our friends that out here they get a little sneezy again from the juniper trees. So yeah, maybe I'll just have them put a little Vaseline in there and stop the juniper dust bunnies. Okay, so let's go into our forecast. I have a few decks here. If you guys want to grab your decks, that would be great too. Let me know what you guys are working with. Fiction Lady, what is up? Susan says, good to see you. John said, yeah, Vaseline helps. Excellent. Susan's saying, Billy makes sense. Good idea. I agree. Okay. I have my Wally's World Oracle here, by the way. If you guys are interested in my Wally's World, the link for that is down below. But other decks that I have today, I have my story cards. I have a deck in here from my uncle. It's actually a vintage, I believe it's a Waitesmith deck. I don't think it's Rider. So it's, yeah, Waitesmith. It's from the 60s. So I have that in here. I have my Oracle of the Dragon Fae that actually pertains to our special question. And I have my crystal reading cards. And then I have one of my foresty decks, which the name eludes me for the moment. Why can't Northern Animals Tarot? That's it. Northern Animals Tarot. I was like, what the deuce? Okay, let's see. What deck do I want to use for the forecast? Let's use my uncle's deck and let's use Wally's World. So let me know what you guys are working with today. Maybe you guys want to bust out one of your oldest decks. So this is, I guess, maybe one of the older decks that I have, at least that's been gifted to me, you know, from my uncle back in the day. And he got it, I believe, in the 70s or the late 60s from a friend who picked it up at a yard sale for like $3. So let's see. Do, 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 do. Billy said, tiny bit, squid your nose closed, blot up any excess, don't make you drowsy. Doesn't make you drowsy. I like that. You know, that's why I've never like taken Claritin or anything like that, because I know that some people get a little jittery or they pass out. And I don't know, I just don't like that feeling. Janine says she has the Asherah Tarot. Excellent. Nancy said, sorry I'm late. Brunch with my son. Hello, everyone. I hope that you're having a fabulous Sunday, Nancy. And I hope brunch went well. Let's see. Susie's got the RWS today. And she's saying hello skis to Nancy. Billy said, ooh, I've missed all of this. My energy not been in a place where being around my decks was a good idea. Hey, you know what? Sometimes I think that it's good to just take a break. Like, there's been a couple of days recently where I'm just like, I don't want to do anything energetically right now. Like, don't want to pull cards. I just want to just relax and ground myself. And, you know, I think that we all need that from time to time, you know, working with all these energies. Sometimes we just need to take a break. So good for you, Billy. I'm glad that you're taking care of yourself. Fiction Lady said, doing good. Lots of cool change. It's Stardust Lenormand for me. It's been my go-to. Excellent. All right. So here's the deck here. This is the 3rd edition Waitesmith, 1961. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to pull a card from Wally's World, and that'll be kind of our theme. And I'll pull a couple cards afterwards to kind of go off of what Wally has for us. Okay, so here are the back of my cards. Susie's saying that my uncle's deck's pretty cool. I was pretty stoked when he gifted that to me. I was like, what? So, okay. I hear that clicking in the tree behind me. Oh, by the way, I've been hearing a lot of the cicada, and actually that clicking that's behind me in the tree, I don't know if you guys pick it up on the microphone, but that is the male cicada sending his little click clicks out to the female cicada, just letting them know that he's around. And I found out that they live for about, it's like 3 to 5 years or something underground, growing up before they see the light of day. And once they see the light of day, they go into mating mode. So the boys are out just doing their little thing, you know, waiting for some lady cicadas, and then they don't live too long afterwards. So it's like all this time spent underground in the darkness to finally come out, experience, all the joy. And I mean, that's interesting though. You're the whole time that you're in the sun is just basically a whole love affair. You're just having a love affair. It's all about, procreation and, I don't know, the summer of love, basically. And then they pass away. Interesting. So interesting. I love learning about the bugs and the animals and plants around here. It's just fascinating. Um, Susan said, Janine, I love Lucy. She says, I heard them in Sedona once. It was so cool. I had no idea about them until then. Wow. Billy said, pre-ordered Tinseltown, oh, hold on, and Oracle by Stephanie Burrows, and a tarot book that I forgot what it was called. Very cool. John said, maybe like 7 days after being underground, up to 13 years. Whoa. Susie says, sounds pretty darn good to me. All right, so let's see what Wally has for us this week. What do you got for us, baby boy? And by the way, on May 20th, Loki celebrated his 8th birthday. So Loki is Wally's adopted brother, little panther. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so this here it was a picture that was actually taken by our friend Cosmic Creeper, who lives out in the UK. And this is one of her favorite sacred spots to come and watch the ducks. So she just kind of sits here, kind of overlooking a little pond. And of course, I photoshopped Wally in here. He's in the bushes, checking things out. Kayla says, happy belated birthday to Loki. Yay! And Billy says they're doing well if they can get it together in a week rather than going bright light, can't see anything. And then Susan said, happy birthday, Loki. Boo Boo Kitty says hi. Ah! I will pass on the birthday wishes. Okay, so let's dive into this one. Let's see what Wally's got going on. Okay, so Wally's showing me walking to the edge of this like teeny little, I guess, little pier, I guess, and looking down into the water at your reflection. And actually, that goes off of something that I saw on Instagram briefly before I popped on to today's live chat. And I don't know if you know who Sister Shanti is on Instagram, but she always has some wonderful things. And she has these courses that she's doing right now. And one of them is it's a type of like mirror course. So working with mirrors for healing. And so I find that fascinating. And I was seeing something with mirrors, and now this card comes up about looking at your reflection. And so let's see. Okay, so Wally's saying, when you look down into the water or when you look into the mirror, you're just seeing a reflection that you're perceiving. Anybody else looking into that mirror at you, looking into the water at you, see somebody different than the way that you see yourself. You might be focused or hyper focused on your skin or your hair or what's not quite right with something. You might even go deeper past the skin and start thinking about all the things that could be better. I need to work on this. I need to fix this about myself. And very rarely do we praise ourselves for the things that we have accomplished. Very rarely do we look straight through our eyes, our windows to the soul, and see our actual soul, our infinite self. Very rarely do we see the love that we are created with and the love that we are. Because we are love, we are divine, we are source energy. And sometimes we think these things are outside of ourselves, that the love is out there, that the source energy is out there, the divine is out there, when it's all in here. You are a universe unto yourself. And so the next time you take a look at your reflection, try to see past the human vessel that you embody now and look into the amount of lives that you've been, all the creatures, the people, Perhaps maybe you were a tree or a rock. Maybe you were off this planet and out of this universe. You've been so many things and you've been so many places. And you will go so many places. You've helped so many people along the way, not just in this lifetime. You've done a lot of things to help yourself as well, which in turn helps others. So instead of fixating on your skin or your hair or your eyes, look past that. Look at your soul. Look at the beauty that is your soul. Look at the love that is your soul. And you see God, the goddess. All right. Let's see. Fiction Lady says, I'm a weirdo. I've loved bugs, used to play with snails and collect earthworms when I was little. Happy birthday, Loki. Millipedes are my favorite. Glad to see the insects coming back. Yes. You know what? When I was little, I used to collect snails. I had some pet snails. My mom didn't let me keep them in the house anymore when they got free once. I don't know where they went. I saw their little slimy trails kind of around our little apartment. But who knows where those snails went? Yeah, so no more pet snails for me. But I still played with them out in the yard. I used to love catching lizards and catching frogs. I would hang out with snakes. I just, I don't mind. I just really didn't like spiders. But all the other creepy crawlies were pretty cool. Although I think I've healed a lot of my spider trauma. We're okay again. We homies. Billy said, whoa, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Well, thank you, Wally. Wow, thank you for that message, Wally. Okay, so let's piggyback onto that with this deck and see what else we could gain for this week. All right, so here's the back of this deck. I love the obnoxiously bright colors. Billy said, I adopted snails from the garden, kept them in a seed tray with lettuce to eat. Turns out they were not so keen and would wander off. Yeah, it was a coffee can or something like that. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It was before my brother was born, actually. So I was pretty young, and I had put them in the can. My mom said I could keep them for a little bit, and then I had to put them back in the garden. But yeah, she had put lettuce in there. She put some put grass and other plant stuff in there, seeing if they wanted that. And she put little holes in the lid of the can. Well, I kept saying, Mama, I don't think they can breathe. And she was like, no, honey, I put enough holes. I was like, Mama, I don't think they can breathe. And so when my mom wasn't looking, I made this huge hole at the top. I was like, there, now you can breathe. And yeah, they escaped. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see what else we got cooked up for this week. Oh, by the way, let me know, you guys, are you getting the notifications for the live chats? Because I have noticed that, James is always checking up, seeing how, my videos are doing and things like that. And he was noticing that even though obviously he's subscribed to my channel, that my videos aren't even coming up in his feed, and he has to physically go onto my channel and see what videos I have next. So yes, you guys, I am in a very deep shadow ban right now, and I have been for probably a couple of months. It's just the shadow ban's getting worse. So I'm just wondering if you guys are still getting notification stuff. I think some people are, just obviously not all of my subscribers. So whatever, we put good juju out there. I guess it doesn't matter. People are gonna feel our good juju. Billy said, hashtag abandonment issues. Even snails didn't stick around. Oh my goodness. Well, that means that they were around for you to find again later. Susie said, yes, I am. Billy said, I don't get notifications on your live chats. Interesting. Susie said, but maybe the AI knows I look for you too, Tara. Wow. Billy said, I only see your videos if I specifically go to my subscriptions. Interesting. Oh, Kayla says she gets them. Fiction Lady said, so cool, and so said, yeah, we made a snail circus. I wonder now if they knew how to get back home, sneaking off, seeing clearly. Yes, I'm so sorry to hear that. Susan said, Billy, I know she's being shadow banned. John said, I got in trouble at a sleepover for smearing snail trails all over the side of a cabin. I said, I noticed a lot of snails and pointed them out to some people. They said it must have been me because snails go in straight lines. John, leaving the snail trails. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, the things I used to do when I was a kid. Those poor little animals and stuff. I didn't know. Like, I was never trying to hurt anything. I was never trying to like hurt the snails or hurt the lizards, but I'm sure I was a little rough with them. And now that I'm around all this nature, I was like, could you tell your ancestors sorry for whatever I did when I was a kid? Didn't know. John said snails go where they want. That's what I say, man. They don't have to go in straight lines. They're snails. Okay, so for this week, we also have the King of Cups and we have the Nine of, I was going to say the Knight, but it's the Nine of Swords. Okay, so let's dive into this one. Whoa. Okay, so definitely is a lot of the message that we got from Wally just a few minutes ago about really taking a look at your reflection, taking a look at who you are at your core. You know, not the human being and all the judgments that we pass on this human being, you know, from the outside, you know, kind of looking through that lens, but looking through the lens of the divine, which is you. And when we do that, we remain more present and more conscious of our thoughts. So if you can, try to remain as conscious as possible to your thoughts. If you find that your emotions are running wild, it's not that we want to control our emotions or to shut them down, but there must be a reason for it. You know, if certain emotions keep coming up again and again, then there must be a reason for it. You know, that means that the energetic self is trying to talk to you in some way, you know, that there's something that's coming up, and perhaps it's a particular thought that's back there. You know, I had a talk with somebody recently about an allergy. You know, their eyes were watering and they were wondering why. And I said it was actually, they were crying, but they didn't know they were crying, you know, and that the body was waiting to release something. And so sometimes our emotions come up that way, where we're acting as if we're in a particular emotion, like maybe your actions show that you're angry, or maybe your eyes are watering like you're crying, but you don't feel sad, and maybe you don't feel angry. But there's something under there. There's something that needs to be looked at, because there's something that you're thinking, and it kind of seems like it is thinking, that's causing these emotions to come to the surface. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That means that there's certain things that are ready to be healed. So again, definitely a very healing week, and that makes sense because we are in the week of Kimi. It's transformation, death, and rebirth. Let's see. Let's go back here. You guys got some good good messages. Billy said, to this day, if I step on a snail in the garden, I immediately apologize, feel so bad for them. But wheel of life, the birds later get a meal. Still feel guilty though. Yep. Same here. Same here. But yeah, I know the circle of life goes on around here. So it's going to help somebody in the end. Angela said, blessings and hugs. Hello, Angela. Everyone, good to see you guys today. Love and light. Hugs to everyone. Many rainbows. Bless you today. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Everybody's saying hello. Kayla said, Susie, thank you again for my message last week in the super chat. I really loved it so much. And Susie's saying, Kayla, you're welcome. Felt bad about the internet trouble, but I loved being there with them. Yeah, Kayla, I agree. It was a lot of fun to hang out with you guys, and also to hang out with, you know, Susie and Lisa and Dana, and and just have a bit of a fun, relaxed, laid back time, but also so many wonderful messages. So yes, thank you guys for jumping in, and also thank you, Dana and Lisa and Susie, for joining me. That was a lot of fun. We must do this again sometime. Okay. So let's put this back, and let's get into the next portion. which is our special question. So, over on my YouTube channel, I have a little poll that I post usually on Thursday, so once a week. And it's got 4 questions, and you vote on the question that you would like me to talk about during the Sunday live chat, or the card that you would like me to pull. So, we do have our winning question, and it was kind of by a landslide. So, we'll get into that in just a moment. Let's see. Angela said, blessings and hugs, Kayla. I'm going to pull one card from my Mystic Sisters Oracle and sling poetry to today, if you guys don't mind. Yeah, of course. Go ahead. We love your poems, Angela. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the winning question for this week, which by the way, it was on the public poll. I asked my YouTube members, I asked Patreon members, and if there's a question you're really into, being a member on YouTube or Patreon kind of gives you that double vote. So it kind of pushes what you want to see forward. So the winning question was a message from the Fae, and perhaps it's because we're going to be going into summer next month, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, and so much life is coming back, which reminds us of the elementals, which reminds us of, all the forest energies and Fae. And so, yeah, I have a feeling, everybody was kind of wanting to hear from nature itself and the elementals that reside within that nature. So I decided to pull out the Oracle of the Dragon Fae for a message from the Fae. So, oh, who is that up there? So many weird insects. I'm learning so much about all these little guys. It's like I live on another planet. Maybe I do. Let's see. Susie said, not at all, Angela. Love your poetry and messages. Okay, so let's get into a message from the Fae. And again, you guys feel free to sling your cards, sling your messages. There is no being late to a message. Once you guys get a message, go ahead and put it in. No worries. It's just kind of, we're just here. Whoops. Here to hang out in the good vibes and slang some cards. All right. So I had a card that flew out. Ho, ho, ho. Morrigan the Fae. So the Morrigan, take action. Interesting. Let's see. Billy said, hashtag neurodivergent, have felt like an alien my whole life. Well, Billy, that may be how you feel, but you're not alone. You are surrounded by many, 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 many people who, I guess we're all kind of awkward, and we love you. And well, since all is one, we are you and you are us. So we're all together. And sometimes that's even good for me to remember whenever I'm feeling a tad alone, But yeah, sending you lots and lots of good juju there, Billy. Fiction Lady said, boy, I've missed you all. Such great comments. Money and Snake, really hope that doesn't speak of financial death. Yay. Let's see, Susie says, the Emperor, reverse question, authority. Ooh. Angela's like, Mama Morgan. And Susie's saying, Billy, we love you. Yes, yes. I agree. Okay, so let's see. Let's tap into Morgan the Fae. Okay. Okay. So, okay, I understand why the card says take action. So, she's talking about, it doesn't matter what hemisphere you live on. Obviously, they're going through, the transformation looks different. In the northern hemisphere, we're going to be going into summer. In the southern hemisphere, they're going to be going into winter. But the action is somewhat the same. Since we are Earth, we are part of Earth, we are Earth children, Mama Gaia's children. She said, just like she takes particular steps or action depending on the season, let's talk about the northern hemisphere, and then we'll see how it equates to the southern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere, everybody's going into summer. Summer looks different depending on where you live, of course. And she says that means that the area in which you live is taking particular action in order to prepare for the heat of summer and preparing for possible lack of water or lack of food during that time, or maybe it's a lot more food and a lot more water during that time, again, depending on where you live. But if the plants decided to hang back and decide, we'll take action maybe later, maybe in autumn, or the animals decide to hang back and says, I'll eat tomorrow. Um, Everything would get thrown out of equilibrium. They take advantage when they can. When they see the opportunity, they take it. And that's because, for the most part, there is a lack of ego within the animal kingdom, within the plant world. And, the same could be said for the southern hemisphere. If action isn't taken, well, depending on where you live, it could have dire consequences. When for some people it just gets really cold, some people ice sets in and snow sets in. So it's all about taking opportunities. And she's saying, and for when it comes to human beings, because we do have an ego construct, which the ego isn't evil, it just operates at a 3D level. But fortunately, as we were talking about earlier, when we look into the mirror, we have a multidimensional self. We have a spirit. We have a soul. We have that beautiful part of ourselves, that magical part of ourselves that is connected to Mama Gaia, the earth self. And so when the ego sees an opportunity, it may decide, ooh, now's not the time. Ooh, what if it doesn't work out? And that's when, again, remaining conscious of your thoughts, as was the message for this week, we have to let the higher self step in. It's the one that we see beyond our eyes in the mirror that says, this is the opportunity for you. This is for your best and highest good. And so, although you may feel protesting from your ego, we have to allow the higher self to lead us because it's the only one that can see beyond. When we talk about the senses, 5 of them belong to the ego. That 6th one belongs to the one that's inside of us. Or however you want to look at it, sometimes it's on the outside of us, where the spirit is on the outside, and the human is cradled on the inside. I kind of like to think of it that way. But again, opportunity. Seize the opportunity. Sometimes we may decide, I'm not worthy of that opportunity at this time, or maybe it's too scary for the opportunity at this time. But that is the 5 senses ego talking. That's not the one with the beautiful sense that can see beyond this world. So let that one be the one that guides you this week. Let that one, well, not just this week, but beyond, let that be the one that leads you into opportunities for your growth, for your best and highest good, and for the ultimate achievement of the things that you want. Thank you, Morgan. All right. Let's see here. Let's go back and take a look at what your messages have. You guys had some wonderful messages. Billy says, thanks all. It's been a lot discovering just how many traits, self-identifying for now, but file me under #processing. Hugs for you all. Thank you, Billy. Angela said, I got Urania from my Mystic Sisters, such a beautiful astrological card. She's standing in a palace with an observatory on the ceiling, wearing a crow of stars, also appears to have reddish hair. The cycles are going to keep going no matter what we do. We can choose to fight the cycles, try to block their way. Goodness knows that doesn't work. Life goes on its way. She said, or we could choose to bob around like a cork with no direction, or we can choose to swim and join the cycles and grab each other's hands and the divine and take off in a new direction. Beautiful, Angela. Susie said, Angela, love that. Uranus is my trine, or Uranus, my ascendant until next year. Resonates. Susie says, swim. I will swim. Angela said, whatever we choose, make sure you don't let others make the choice for you. Make the choice that makes you happiest. Life is meant to be lived, not existed. Flaws and all, we love you. Amen. I love that. Life is meant to be lived, not just to be existed in. That's wonderful. Angela said, I will swim to claim swimming. Nice. Wow. You guys have so many amazing, wonderful vibes. Lisa! Hey! How are you, Lisa? Welcome, welcome. We just got finished tapping into Morgan here. Okay, you guys. So here we are going into the viewers poll. And I think for the viewers poll, I'm going to use my crystal reading cards here. One of my fave decks. I have a few faves, you know. Okay, so here we go. I wrote down the options for our viewers poll. Words today. What are they? Let's see here. Fiction Lady said, bridge and void. We may be headed somewhere new. We may be bridging our, aligning our shadow, unconscious with our physical waking life. Another possibility is the unknown. As I said, the future. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you, Fiction Lady. All right. Okay, you guys. Again, if you have more messages, continue to post them because it does help, especially people that watch the replay. They do read your comments, and I try to say as many comments out loud for people who are just listening. But okay, so here, if you've never been in this chat before or you're watching the replay, you don't know how this goes, like what is a viewer's poll? It's basically the people who are in the chat right now have a chance to vote on one option A or option B, the red pill or the blue pill. No, but basically you vote with emojis, and if you don't have access to your emojis, then I'll just have you, you know, type the words red heart or just type the words green heart. But here we go. Here are your questions. So if you like option A or question number 1, I'm going to have you vote with a red heart emoji or just type the words red heart. A message from Sol, the sun. You know, I thought I'd get the sun in on this. Okay. If you like option 2 or question 2, vote with a green heart emoji or just type the words green heart. And this is a message from Luna, the moon. So either a message from the sun today or a message from the moon today. And we are in a waxing phase in our moon. I believe we're about halfway through. We're halfway to full. So, all right. Let's see. Let's take a look at your messages here. Lisa says you're at your bros. Your bro with Mary. Oh, Mary Jane. Hey, nice. Janine said, Susie, the tower, discovery, change, adjustment, and temperance, balance, harmony together suggest a situation in which balance and harmony must be restored after undergoing a period of major upheaval. Wonderful. Beautiful message. Janine says, you got all that spot on, looking for the star next. Thank you, friend. So wonderful. All right, so people are already coming in with the votes. Let's do this, you guys. So again, if you didn't hear, red heart emoji for a message from the sun. Green heart emoji for a message from the moon. All right, ready? Here we go. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see. Oh, lots of votes came in. Excellent. Angela said, oh, green heart. It says, I did a moonlight ritual last night. I felt like the moon coming up is no coincidence. All right, so let's count these up then. We'll count red hearts first, and then we'll count the green hearts. John has a red heart. Says, wife is ruled by the sun. All right, there we go. We have Fiction Lady with a red heart. Let's look at the green hearts. Nancy has a green heart. Susie has a green heart. Angela has a green heart. And Billy has a green heart. So yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 red and then 4 green. So it looks like green. All right. So a message from the moon from Miss Luna. All right. Okay. So thank you everybody who voted. Kayla came in with the green heart. The moon it is. Okay. So let's give these a little shuffle. Again, I'm using the crystal reading cards. I think it's just an awesome deck. Okay, let's tap into the moon in her beautiful waxing phase, getting closer and closer each day to that full moon energy before she just releases it all. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Mm. Okay, she just hit me with a message there. Susie said, green it is. Thank you all. Yes, Luna. All right. And you know what? Hidden night in this picture almost looks like the color our moon is out here. You know, sometimes the moon looks kind of gray or white to some people, or just really bright. For some people, it's like very like burnt orange color, but here it's almost kind of yellowy. But we have hidden night, and it says gratitude. Um, and let's tap back in. Okay, she had a phrase that came in that says, "I'll be happy when dot dot dot," and she's saying, when you look up at the sky, obviously, you know, I go through phases, or at least that's how you view me, as going through various phases. I'm in a waning phase, I'm in a waxing phase. Sometimes I look like a crescent. Sometimes I'm, you know, half full or half empty, you know, depending on how you want to look at me. Sometimes I'm in my full glory, you know, and you can use a telescope to take a look at all different portions of me that are usually hidden in the dark. But every phase of the moon is more helping us to understand our own phases, you know. And she's saying, I'm not just connecting to women, you know, going through their moon cycles, but I connect to the divine masculine as well. You know, I have both in me, but I spend time in each of these phases with gratitude, with love, and understanding that each one of them is important, especially to the humans who are looking up at me, you know, performing their rituals or perhaps affirmations, or just looking to the moon for guidance. Sometimes they want to look up into the sky and they want to know that they're not alone. And so every part of me is serving a purpose, just like every phase of you is serving a purpose. And sometimes when we're in a phase that we're not too comfortable with, we say, well, I can't wait to pass this phase because I'll be happy when it's over. I'll be happy when I have more money in my account. I'll be happy when I have found true love. But she says, if I was waiting, saying, I'll be happy when the humans can see me when I'm a full moon, I would be happy for 2 or 3 days out of my 28-day cycle. That's not a happy existence. And she says it's not a happy existence for humans as well. If you're always saying, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I'm out of my teenage phase. I'll be happy when I'm out of my menopause phase. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when. She says, be happy today, because the phase that you are in is beneficial for those maybe you haven't yet encountered. Maybe you don't understand yet how that phase that you're in is even beneficial for you. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have a benefit. Of course, everything has a light and shadow, but that's just it. Sometimes we focus more on the shadow than we do the light. And so today, be happy for your phase that you're in. Even if you're not a full moon yet, you're not exactly where you want to be, you know that every step of the way has a purpose and it's going to eventually get you there. But to be unhappy until then is not what she wants for you. All right. Thank you, Luna. Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Okay, let's see. Let me look at what you guys had. You guys always have some beautiful messages. John said, I'm not disappointed. Susan said, gratitude. Had to shift the other day, got a new water heater, and I almost forgot within 24 hours to give huge thanks. So this is a perfect reminder to me. Daily ritual. Angela said, OMG, two flipped over. Nyx and Sisters of Harmony. Nyx stands with her handmaidens stepping out onto moonlit water, and not in the Sisters of Harmony stand on stairway in a colorful sunny forest playing music. Beautiful. Susan said, yes, when is overrated. John said, I share a drink with her, at least full and new. Nice. Angela said, nature and night, or sisters, Don't discount either one. Daytime is my sun. My daughter is the dawn. Gaia is my sister. We are all connected here, sun. And moon, night, and day are never separated. Susie said, ditto. Angela said, the dark, the sun, the earth, the moon, you don't have anything to hear. It's only us. We're here hoping you realize it soon. Amen. Amen. Billy said, beautiful. Thank you so much, Mama Moon. Thank you, Tara. You're very welcome. Thank you, Moon. Yes. Fiction Lady says, I like how the kids saying, oh no, added to the message. Yeah, that's little baby Conrad back there. Um, which, by the way, we have found out he is very, very, very psychic. He may not have a whole lot of words yet, but what he's been able to point out has been amazing. Yeah, I love his little oh no. Lisa said, I'll watch the replay. I'm being spoiled by two handsome bros. Love it. Well, lots of hugs for your brothers too, Lisa. Hugs and kisses. Billy said, Mama Moon and her stars hold us safe until the light returns. Nancy said, beautiful message. I'm basking in the wonderment of my crone years now. There we go. Beautiful. Angela said, bless him. May the divine protect the little one. Yes, he's very, I just think a lot of the little ones that have come in recently to Earth, all our babies and toddlers and all the ones that are still in utero. This is a very special group of children coming in at this time. And I'm grateful, with those kids as our future, it looks bright, So, oh yes, I wanted to share a little something about a little baby Conrad. So we were in the RV and we were just sitting around, all of us, we were just talking. And he kept pointing to the door of the RV and he got so distressed. He was going, oh no, oh no, oh no. And he started crying. And everybody's like, what is it? Did you want to put your shoes on? No, we can't go outside right now, because all the shoes were by the front door. And so we thought maybe that's what he was talking about, that he wanted to go outside and maybe he was just really upset because he couldn't go outside. But it didn't really seem like that's why he was upset, but he kept saying, oh no, oh no. So then a minute or two passes and we hear this crash and James's dad was sitting next to the door. And I don't know, I think Conrad had pushed on the door or something and he fell out the door, onto the first step. He didn't get hurt really. He was more just frightened because he fell. And so, he kind of brushed it off later, but we realized that he must have been seeing himself falling out the door and didn't quite understand maybe how to prevent it or how that happened or when that was going to happen. And so, yeah, he was saying, oh no, because he'd seen himself already doing what he was going to do. So that was interesting. The second thing that happened, besides all the other little things, on this trip so far, is that he was pointing to the front door again, but this time it wasn't, oh no, he was just like somebody's there basically, like, he's like trying to point to the door and we're like, what is it? And we're like, no, can't go outside, Conrad. Not right now, we'll put on our shoes later. And he's like, oh, and he keeps pointing to the door. Like 5 minutes goes by and James shows up with the dog Enzo, and it was like he knew they were going to be coming through the door soon. And all the rest of us are like, no, we're going outside later, put on your shoes later. Oh my goodness, like we really have to pay attention to these little ones. Let's see, let's go back here. Angela said, or Susie said, Angela, I second that. Fiction Lady said, congrats, thank you, can't wait to see how it turns out, or how he turns out. Lisa said, my Cole is bro and Steve is like a son to me. Aww. And Susie said, wow, a premonition, holy smokes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like James and I were like, that kid is psychic. Like he's, but his parents are like, maybe not, and we're just like thinking, like, is that how we lose our ability as adults? Like, do we just like get convinced that whatever it is we're seeing and feeling or whatever is just not real. Maybe, but you know what? He's got us as his aunt and uncle. So, um, let's see. Susan said, Aunt Lanny and Soul's extra gifted for now. Mm-hmm. Kayla said, Tara, how is your pet lizard who lives on the stairs? Forgot his name. Fredo. Yes, it's Fredo. Fredo and Mrs. Fredo and their children, which have grown up once again. They've had a lot of kids, by the way. I mean, it's been like a season or two. They've had a lot of children. Some of the kids have moved out and they're on logs that are like back here and over there. A couple of the other kids have stayed home to help mom, but yeah, they're doing okay. I got to have a little conversation with Mrs. Fredo because I was asking her why she was missing a tail. Apparently, she got attacked by a bird, and she just remembers being up in the air and seeing the ground, and she was very scared, and it was very unnatural. And then she hit the ground, which is probably her tail releasing. So she just gets a little skittish when she sees a like my shadow or something. She thinks it's a bird. But other than that, I have figured out how to just kind of soothe her a little bit energetically, so that she doesn't get so stressed out seeing shadows. But yeah, they're doing okay. They're still living in the stairs. I see more of Mrs. Fredo than I see Fredo himself, Mr. Fredo. But I think he has gotten them another house, like on this tree, actually this right here. So sometimes she goes and visits there, or maybe they're separated. I'm not sure what's going on in their little household. um let's see. Susie says they are coming in big time, and John said unlearning what we've been taught is so difficult if we think it is. Susie says, oh no, but she is okay. Yes, my little lizard friends are still okay. They're still here with us. And Billy said holiday home. Oh yeah, it could be their holiday home, because he does come back to where she's staying with her two little lizard babies. I guess they could be teenagers by now. They're getting like this big, the little ones. I remember when they were this big. It was so cute to see baby lizards. Oh my gosh. Or baby anything, really. I love baby anything. Baby plants, baby babies, puppy babies, lizard babies. But yeah. Okay, you guys. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Let me find my little banner here. Oh. Okay, you guys, it is that time for super chats and super stickers. If you would like to do a little donation, super chat, super sticker, I can pull a card for you. But if you want a little bit more of an expansive reading, a little bit more one-on-one, and maybe you don't want all of the interwebs to know about your question, then I do have readings on my website. Just head over to kittensweightsandtarot.com. That's www. And I have many different types of readings. I even have one card readings on my website. So if you just wanted something quick and easy, you just didn't want to do it here in the live chat, completely understand. But I have some big ones too. And I've had some suggestions lately for me to add another offering into my shop, to start doing like spiritual counseling / coaching sessions. And that's something I'd never even thought of for myself doing. But I was kind of thinking about, some of the readings I do, some of my bigger readings. I guess I kind of already do somewhat of a coaching session, but maybe like offering some homework for people to do, for them to work on their own, so they can continue their healing, after the reading is over. So kind of maybe mixing in, I don't know, maybe doing like channeling a little bit, reading a little bit, counseling a little bit, but just kind of coaching people, through whatever they need. So yeah, I'm going to look into how I want to set that up, but that might be an offering coming soon. So we'll see. Alrighty, let's take a look at your comments here. Angela said, cute lizards. Are they bearded dragons? I'm not sure what kind of lizard they are. They're not a bearded dragon, but they're only about this big. They're just little desert lizards, but they're cutie patooties. Angela said, baby spiders look like sparklers. Aw. This is when they're super tiny because they have super tiny backs. Aww. Oh, Janine coming in. Thank you. Janine said, when life gets more settled, I want to leave a UK government career. Shall I try for social worker bursary or go for a different advocacy based career? All right, so let's dive into that one. John said, I'm sorry, I know what I said sounded big. Oh, no worries, no worries. All right. And then we have Susie, Super Chat. Excellent. All right. So let's get to our friend Janine first. And I'm going to use the story cards for you, Janine. So let's see. Would it be for your best and highest good to maybe go into looking at a more of a social worker setting or a different advocacy group? Okay. Or based career. Sorry. Let me have a little bit of water first too. Perhaps my words are getting fuddled due to my thirst. By the way, you guys should definitely take a hydration break. Stay hydrated, my friends. Okay. Okay, Jenny. Going into social work. We're going into something similar. Going into social work. Going into something similar. Okay, Janine, I don't know if this makes any sense, but I was seeing, why did her name just escape me? The lady that played Mary Poppins, and also the same lady that was in The Sound of Music. I don't know why her name just left me. I love her. But I was seeing Mary Poppins at first, and she's talking to the two children, and she's, you know, singing as she does, and they're learning as they do. And the next thing I see is The Sound of Music. Again, lots of music, but the same woman, or I guess it's just kind of using the same woman, showing teaching, helping. So I just want to put that in as like the first thing I saw. Sound of Music in Mary Poppins. Oh, okay. Intuition. And it's got a little fox down here, which is kind of cute. Little intuition card. Okay. Actually, I'm getting more of a different advocate type career. So I believe we were, I think, looking into, as a social worker before, but kind of tweaking it a little. And I think it's that tweaking it a little that would put you into a different type of advocacy type career. So it's one that I think, if you don't mind working with children or being the voice of children, but something with using your own gifts, your own intuition, and looking at, yes, the 3D, but also the spiritual side of whatever issue or problem may be arising. This seems like more in the home. So, like children in the home. So, whether you're working with adopted children, foster children, but something in helping children to adapt to their new home life, or when there's issues that have come up in the home, helping things to move seamlessly with the techniques that you help them with. So helping them to see blockages, again, using your intuition, but also the 3D information that you have gained through just, talking to the parents, talking to the children, of how they could resolve, certain issues that may be going on. Perhaps there's a reintroduction of a parent coming back into the home. And I just kind of see that something with children, but making sure that they are heard and that they are seen. Because oftentimes when, as one who's gone through the system as a child, oftentimes the children don't have a voice. It's just the adults talking and deciding what's best for the child. But if maybe this might be a career that you could start up with people, or maybe some people have already done some grassroots things with this. Um, but bringing the children into it, letting them feel that they are powerful too, that the adults don't just make all the decisions for them, that they do get a say in how they feel. They want to, talk about how they feel. Because oftentimes, when things are disruptive, going on, the children are just kind of keep quiet, I guess, about these things. They don't really get to express themselves or how they feel or even what they're thinking, or maybe even ideas that they have for, how they would like to see things progress forward. But yeah, some sort of like working with families, especially children. All right. All right. Thank you, Janine. Let's see. Let's go back here. Billy said, "Are there any of my spirit fam, human or feathered, with a message for me at the moment? Please, may I trade a poem for this? Hugs and support." Yes, of course, Billy. Of course. I love your poems. Angela says, "Can I do a poem for some of the super chats if one strikes me?" Sure, sure. That would be lovely. Um, let's see. Let's go back here. It always like scrolls really fast, and I don't want to miss any of you guys's messages here. Okay, so Susie was next. Her question is, will I ever be in a committed, intimate relationship? I know that is early to ask, but I am curious. Sure, we could take a look into that. Oh, Janine, it was Julie Andrews. Yes, yes, Julie Andrews. How could I forget her name? And just said, whatever you decide to go where your heart feels happy, you'll be supported, whatever happens, whether you came or go, because one or two, you'll be protected and successful, whatever you do. Aw, beautiful. Susie said, Janine, sending you success at all that you do, friend. Fiction Lady said, damn, you're right. Thank you, Mommy. Drinking coffee. I need to drink at one glass of water, better yet, two after I had my coffee. I keep forgetting. Yes, stay hydrated. Angela said, no problem, Susie. I've been writing personal poetry to make people smile. Well, you are definitely gifted. Janine says, I'm not sure whether I would have to do social work qualification or whether I'd get into it via another route, but sounds like something I would get satisfaction in. It just seemed like a lot of the focus, Janine, would be on children. So something that's really encompassing the children. So not just, the adults, but the main focus being kids. But yeah, I think you'd be lovely at it, feeling into your energy. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah, Susie. Susie's next. Wanted to know if you'd be in another committed relationship. Of course, I understand curiosity, of course. And that was something that I was thinking about my grandfather when after my grandmother had passed away, and my grandfather, obviously he really loved my grandma, but there was a point where like he was kind of wondering, am I gonna find love again? And it was no disrespect to my grandmother, because he still loves her. She's gone and crossed over, but he still loves her. And when he did eventually get remarried, it was that he said he had two loves of his life, the one that was on earth and the one that was in heaven. And then eventually he passed away. And so technically my step grandmother is still here, who's pretty cool. And now I see both of them in spirit. So yeah, I think I always thought that was a nice thought, that this is my love on earth, and then I have my love in heaven. So okay, Susie, so let's take a look. Okay, Susie, I was trying to tap into your energy, And then this song started playing, and I know George is kind of off to the side listening. But he has a huge smile on his face. And the song starts playing. Bye, bye, Miss American, bye. Took my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. The good old boys drink their whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. Singing this'll be the day that I die. So I don't know, that song's just playing in my head right now. Okay. Fierce. Actually, it's George that wants to talk and answer this one for you. He says, my girl is going to become the fireball that I know she is. And he was saying it's going to be a while, but in that while, he's going to see so much growth and transformation in you. And he says he has the best seat in the house to be able to see it. And he says, and in that time, you will be on your own, so to speak, for that period of transformation where you really step into your fire. He says that's fireball, the sun. And it's not until you really see yourself as he's always seen you that somebody else will be able to see that too. And he has nothing but smiles from ear to ear. He says, and it's at that time, which he says that time has already occurred now that he knows. He says, yeah, now I know time doesn't exist. Okay. But he said it would be at that time that he says, I would send my blessings. He goes, and I'm not going anywhere. And now he's making jokes about having two husbands. So no, but he says there will come a time, but it'll be several years from now. And in the meantime, yeah, he gets to watch you grow. All right. All right. Well, thank you to George coming in for your message. Susan said, oh, thank you, Tara and George. Nancy said, what a precious message. You're very welcome, Susie. And again, yes, thank you, George, for coming in to help you with that. Woo, got a little teary there. I like George's energy. Let's see. Let's go back here. Sue said, your grandpa. Billy said, fiction lady, have you found Writer's Digest? They do writing prompts and weekly poetry prompts on Wednesdays. Billy says, love that song so much. And Angela said, love never dies. It's always there in many forms to treat you with care. Love may take a while to come to you, but when it does, it takes forever. It's depth of the connection. Watch for angel feathers. Susie said, thank you for the song too. Janine said, fiction lady, I love poetry. Similar reason for why I love reading books. Takes you into another place of peace and imagination. It says, don't like to read. I worry I'll accidentally write too close to someone else's words, and I don't want to, by accident, do that. I read and watch more educational material. Interesting. All right. Okay. So Billy, who is going to trade one of her lovely poems via email for her reading. Let me go under here. So she was wondering if any of her spirit fam, human or feathered, have a message for her at the moment. All right. I would be more than happy to pull a card for you. Yes, the Poetry Exchange. All right. Okay, Billy, I believe it's actually going to be, and I forget your birdie's name, but the yellow birdie. And I'm just listening because the bird's singing such a beautiful song. It's like a happy, like tweet, 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 you know. I can't really like mimic its song, but it's a beautiful song, trust me. um, and it's on a branch, but it's also showing itself as being like a mechanical bird too. So that's interesting. I have to dive into that one. Let's see. Okay, let's pull a card because I don't understand the like mechanical bird and then there's a real bird. But beautiful song nonetheless. Ooh, balance. Let's see. Billy said, "Is hubby M or Lou around?" Oh, this would be Lucello then. Yes. Okay. Interesting. I believe there's little birdies in this tree. Okay, so Billy, let's tap into what little Lou has to say. Okay, so that's why I was saying the bird is like being the like a real bird, and then there's like Lucello is being the mechanical bird. Just making sure that there's um, a balance between everything, really. I know that's kind of vague, but it's like this world and the spirit world, with being in nature, with doing the things we have to on electronics, you know, technology. Um, and that there's comfort in both. And Lou's saying sometimes people, you know, put down technology and they say, you know, it's bad. Um, but if it brings you comfort and it brings you healing, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it was natural or if it was man made. Kind of like Lou was saying, you know, whether you had me as the real bird, or let's say you had a mechanical bird, they both have beautiful songs, and if both brought you healing, then that's all that matters. So Lou says, don't feel guilty if you know you're using some methods or doing things where people are like, oh, that's unnatural, or that's, you know, not the way I would do things. Lou says you need to listen to you, listen to Billy, listen to your body. And again, if the healing that you seek, technology can help you with it, then that's all that matters. If being out in nature or something that's natural, something that somebody else created, you know, through natural means, and it helps you, that's beautiful too. But Lou's saying don't forget to look at both sides as well, you know, making sure that you find all avenues through your healing. Because when we're looking for our healing and we're letting our higher selves guide us, Lou says it's like a beautiful song. It's like my song. Listen to the song. All right. Well, thank you, Lou, for helping Billy. Let's see. Let's go back here at some of your comments. Oh, Susie did a super sticker. Oh, for Angela. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Angela says, you're not out of reach of us. You're stuck to you. Like Lou, people could say it's impossible. Try to separate us with words, but it worked. Won't work on you. Take that connection, dive down below. We'll keep you safe wherever you go. Susie said, love that name. Angela said, aw, Susie, I'm happy crying. Fiction Lady said, oh, thanks you. Yes, I have heard of Writer's Digest, just don't know where to find it. That's an awesome, Janine. I hope I spelled your name right. Don't know everyone's IRL names. Butterfly Love Child. Hey, thank you, thank you. All right, so she has a question. Says, long time no see. Yeah, long time no see. She said, lurking. I was wondering if I could identify the goddess energy that's around me, or if not, a general message. Sure. I would love to take a look at that. Um, let's see. Okay, so Angela and then Butterfly Love Child. All right. So, Angela, yeah, let us know what your question is. Okay, any message from Mama Gaia for me and the collective? All right. And then Billy says, I'll send you a photo. You'll see why that mechanical bird makes sense. All right. Would love to. Um, Excellent. All right. Okay. So, Angela, let's take a look into that. And then Butterfly Love Child, we will look at your message. So, thank you, Susie, for getting that reading for Angela. Okay, so even before I pull a card, Angela, what was coming through was just like you nourish everybody with your beautiful words, your poetry, your creativity. You have such a giving heart, always wanting to help others, wanting to put smiles on everybody's face. You have to remember to be that same kind, loving soul to yourself as well. Wanting to put a smile on your own face, doing wonderful, creative, beautiful things because it nourishes your soul and it helps you. So let's pull a card on that. Oh my gosh. Well, if that just doesn't hit the nail on the head, nurture. So yeah, Angela, Gaia was saying, just like we want to do so much, for the earth. We want to help the earth, make sure that everything that lives on this planet is abundant. It can grow, it thrives. Um, we have to remember that just as we put that time and energy into our surroundings, into the people that live here, the animals, the plants, again, doing that for yourself as well, and remembering that you are a part of everyone else. Sometimes we like to think of ourselves as separate or apart, like separated from everybody, and we say, "Oh well, I'm just doing that for them. No worry about me." And perhaps it's a societal thing about wanting us to be modest and saying, "Oh no, I want to be selfless." But Gaia says, I am both selfish and selfless. Selfish in the sense that I know that I need to keep myself nurtured. I need to take care of myself. Otherwise, everything that lives upon me will die. I'm selfless and knowing that everything that I nurture here lives off of me, and that's how they grow. So it's a balance. I have to be selfish and I have to be selfless in that sense. And so Gaia is saying, if you could embody more of that, she would love to see her child grow in that way. That would be you. All right. Um, Billy also put the link to Reader's Digest for you guys. Um, wow. All right. Well, Angela, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Let's see here. Angela says, did a big collective prayer candle ritual with her to consecrate a new statue for her. So I could feel her there. I just melted. She's my cosmic mommy. That's beautiful. All right, Butterfly Love Child is lit next. And that's right, you guys. So if you wanted a card pulled, if you want me to answer a question, just don't forget those super chats and super stickers. But of course, if you don't want your reading done here in front of everybody, I do have readings on my website, kittenswaitsandtarot.com, especially if you want something, much bigger. All right, so Butterfly Love Child. All right, girl. Let's see what you got. So if you can identify the goddess energy that's around me. Let's see. Or it could be a general message, but let's tap into that. And Angela says she's calling me out. I'm the worst at self-care. Angela, you gotta take care of yourself, girl. And John says you can't pour into another from an empty cup. That's true. That is very true, John. All right. Which reminds me, speaking of empty cups, let me drink a little bit more. Okay. Butterfly Love Child. Let's see if we can tap into that goddess energy that's around you at the moment. Interesting. Okay, so butterfly, at first it was like all these different goddess energies coming in, and then it kind of settled on one, and that was Aphrodite. Um, and perhaps not even Aphrodite herself, but Aphrodite's energy. And she's saying, as she comes in, she says she wants to help you with feeling unashamed, unashamed about yourself, about your body, about your energy, about who you are as a person, and who you are as an energy. She noticed that depending on the types of societies and families that we grew up in, there's such a focus on shame. When something is born, it doesn't know shame until it's taught it. It's taught what's acceptable and unacceptable in society, the way a particular gender should act or not act. And she said it's such a shame because there are so many restrictions then that are put on. And it's not just that one restriction, like she says some people say it's unacceptable to be nude, to not walk around with clothing. And she's saying, but it's not just that one restriction. It's that one belief extends into all areas of life, where it becomes more metaphorical than it does become physical. Where yes, perhaps in some societies they say no, nudity is unacceptable. Then we start thinking that to be naked and vulnerable symbolically is also unacceptable. And so she said she's come in at this time to help you to rediscover your wildness, your true human self, not the human that was constructed by the educational system and by society and by your family. And she says, by no means are many of these intentions have been malicious. It's just how they were programmed. And so they programmed you as well. And she's saying, I'm not saying that maybe you want to go run naked in public. Maybe you do. But she's saying, I want you to be more open. I want you to see yourself in your full glory, in your full light, as you truly are, whether you are physically naked or symbolically naked, to look into it and to allow yourself to be more free. All the things that people see as taboos, or we don't talk about that, or that's a subject not for polite company. She says, well, that's just a world I don't want to live in. She goes, I'd rather have you express yourself naturally, openly, naked, be vulnerable. All right, so let's pull a card for her then. Let's see. Aphrodite. Oh, okay. Uncertainty. So yeah, I have a feeling like she's saying there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, especially when we have been taught to hide so much of ourselves, not just physically, like with clothing, but she's saying, to hide your certain thoughts, or certain ways you say something, or even certain subjects. And she says this is a time about being more open, because she's saying you don't want to be loved and liked for somebody that you're not. Why not be your truest self and be loved and liked by the people that love the truest version of you, instead of the you that just placates others and makes them comfortable? She says that's not the real you. The real you is much more magnificent, the more open you. All right. Wow. Okay, butterfly. Thank you for letting me tap into Aphrodite's energy. That was awesome. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back here. Susan says, thank you all for sharing in the chat too. Such great energy in KWT. Angela says, a little poem for Mother Gaia. Gaia takes care of all of her all, but sometimes needs her own time to earthquakes, thunderstorms, the oceans, waves, area, all ways to tell us she needs a break and a rest. We just miss the signal sometimes, you know. Amen. Yes, amen. Butterfly says, interesting. Angela said, I will work on self care. I feel a little guilty taking it. No need to feel guilty. You deserve it. Susie said, Angela, maybe schedule a day a week if possible, and just it will get easier. Just a thought. I hear you. Or even 2 hours a week. Butterfly says, I was wondering if my interest in her was a fluke. I guess not. That was your intuition, girl. Angela says, I think I could put 2 hours out of my schedule somewhere. And John said, this is what I was saying with it feeling difficult to unlearn. If we feel like it's difficult to unlearn, it will be. Mm-hmm. Kayla, all right. Thank you, Kayla. Be happy to pull a card for you. Angela said, some people tell you, hush your mouth. We don't speak about that here, but words and concepts need to be heard. People don't trust what they don't understand. They regard it with fear. All right. So Kayla wants a message from the Pleiadians. Will do. Fiction Lady says, yes, I'm learning the same lesson has been called to apply now. It's hard. It can be fun finding what your wildness looks like. Enjoy your journey. Angela says, don't stop being who you are or speaking what is true. Your soul tribe will love you as you are. Go where the love is dear. I love you. Oh, beautiful. Butterfly, you are very welcome. Dana, what's up, girl? Okay, Kayla, message from the Pleiadians. Let's do this. Oh my gosh. That's who that was. Okay, Kayla. Oh wow. It's kind of synchronistic you asked that as your question then. Because last night in the sky, we all saw a trail of like several hundred lights. They appeared in the sky and then they all one by one disappeared into nothingness. And of course, online they always say, oh, it's just the government thing or it's just SpaceX or whatever. But we had a feeling that it was something more. And it feels like that was the Pleiadians doing their circle right now. They said they're not quite ready for like physical contact with 3D humans, but they said they've been on the outskirts and many of the 3D peoples of this world already know of their existence, meaning governments. But the governments do the best they can to try to hide their existence because they feel that they said it's twofold. They said there's always light and dark in everything. So the dark would be to keep people quite literally in the dark about the truths that are out there in order to maintain control. But the Pleiadians are saying there's also a light to it because certain individuals on the planet at this time aren't ready for that to be a part of their life's journey. Like that's just not the part of the journey that their ego is ready for because that is going to cause quite the confrontation with the ego. Mm, some sort of ego death. And they said, but we've come in and out of your sky. Many of you guys are noticing us, but we're the train. We're the train of lights. But it's not all just Pleiadian, but we are in that train. And the more often you start to see us in the sky, looking in with your intuition and not with the 3D, because there will always be a 3D answer. They said, but when you see those lights, the more often you start to see them, This is also a reflection of your awakening process, meaning the veil being removed from your eyes. And when this starts to become an occurrence, what you may consider ridiculous proportions of sightings, people talking about it, those that would never call themselves quote unquote UFO folks when they themselves are UFO folks. That's when you know the next phase is coming. This is not to scare you. This is what the planet has been waiting for. It may not appear as your movies. Your movies were meant to condition you, but it will feel more like a wave. And just like a wave, you can roll with it. Okay, let's pull a card here. Kind of back up with oh my gosh. Explorer. It's like she's a little space person. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me yeah, I think that was a thank you for letting me tap into that. My goodness. Okay, let me go back to what your messages were. So thank you so much, Kayla. Thank you. Thank you. Fiction Lady says, yes, I'm learning the same lesson and been called to apply it now. It's hard. Oh, yes, rewilding. Maze balls. Everybody's sending hugs to Dana. Angela sending hugs for whatever Palladians are. I feel like they deserve hugs. Of course. Dana would like a general message. Would love to. Would love to. Susan said, Angela, star system, high energy light beings, the Pleiadians. Dana said, right now the Pleiadians frequency is on the sun. I meditate to it the other day, or meditated to it the other day. Very nice. Angela said, guides come in many forms, in many different ways. Many eyes are watching over you from many different spaces. Not everyone is ready to have their bubbles popped and for new energies to take them. And Dana said, I had a magenta light all over me. Angela said, places, everything will be okay though. Don't worry or be scared. We won't hurt you. We're just watching. We want to be friends. We've always been there. Amen. And Billy said, I saw what you said to be a satellite train a while ago. Hashtag interesting. All right, so general message for our girl Dana. And Angela said, oh, so friendly aliens. Wow. Hi, Palladian. Earth probably needs a warning label and a hazmat suit these days. All right, Colleen, I will definitely get to you next. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She's planning a solo trip to Italy for her birthday, June 9th. Hey, that's the day before my birthday. Hey. Can I please get a card, intuitive message from you regarding this? I would love to. All right. So let's get a general message for our girl Dana, and then we'll get to our friend Colleen. Okay. Dana, let's tap in. Okay, Dana, this is an interesting image that I'm being shown. It's like you're standing at the center and there's all these butterflies, like a crazy amount of butterflies. But then all the butterflies start circling you, and it's like they're creating this protective barrier around you. And kind of the butterflies showing, they said, some people look at us like, oh, they're so delicate and fragile, and, they can easily be squashed. And they said, but you put enough of us together and we are a force to be reckoned with. And strength doesn't always look like the way you've been taught. They said being a butterfly takes tremendous amount of strength. We literally transform from one entity into another entity while keeping the same consciousness. The feats that we are able to endure, the strongest man on your planet couldn't possibly fathom. So, again, strength doesn't always look like something. Okay, let's see. Self-reliance. Well, that goes along with the message then. So, butterfly energy coming in for you, Dana. Um, Definitely trying to show you that, perhaps you feel like I have to act a certain way or I have to look a certain way, and then I will be strong enough for this journey that you're on. But butterflies are saying, you can look just the way you are and still be a very, very strong person. Just like the butterfly, like they said, we are resilient. We take a tremendous amount of energy and strength to do what we do. But we're often looked at as being so fragile. But also, they're saying without us, much of the world would die and we are needed, so there's nothing fragile about that. That means that we are a force that's needed, just like you. You're the butterfly. Wow. All right, Dana. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. We have our friend Colleen next. Susie is wishing Colleen a happy birthday and safe travels. Angela also wishing her a happy birthday. Janine said, Dana, I used to, when I was younger, my dad used to criticize me for my walking on my tiptoes. The only one of four of us that did it. Four got until now. Very apt with my child references in Susie's message. Very nice. Says change and transformation, Angela says, is there. And on its way, protection is there in place to keep you safe. The coming days, don't stop. Don't worry. Just keep doing what you do. You'll make it. You can, don't make it. You can do it. There is no stopping you. And Dana says, wow, I've been seeing butterflies. Dude, Dana, you are the butterfly, mega butterfly vibes, and they got your back. You know what? Maybe next time you're out in nature, maybe you can imagine your protective shield as butterflies. Maybe that might be cool. All right, so Colleen, whose birthday is near. Nancy says, time for me to take a nap. Such an inspiring life. Thank you, Nancy, for coming in and hanging out with us. I hope you have a wonderful week, by the way, and the rest of your Sunday. Flutterby hugs to Dana, according to Angela. Wonderful. All right, so Colleen, let's take a look here about your solo trip to Italy. So a message regarding this. All right. Okay. Okay. So kind of the image, Colleen, I was getting first was because I've had the wonderful opportunity to go to Italy as well, and I'm seeing those beautiful cobblestone streets, and it's showing me there's like a market on one side, and it's showing me there's a little alleyway, and there's like kind of a shady character kind of in the alleyway, and you got some other market stuff on the other side, but in the middle there's this alley, and kind of your higher self was coming through with how we perceive the world doesn't change just because we change location. When we travel, we bring our beliefs and our perspective with us, no matter where you're from. And one of the good things about travel as they challenge those beliefs and perspective. And so, what your higher self is asking you to do during this trip is, and of course, it might be difficult because it is stuff that gets programmed into us. They say a, a person should never walk down a dark alley alone. That's for sure means that bad things are going to happen to you. There's always a mugger lurking. There's always somebody who's waiting to do something malicious. But your higher self is saying that's just one perspective. And of course, we know that the thoughts and the energy we put out there, we attract to ourselves. That's how we jump timelines. That's how we basically navigate through this life. And so if the attention is on, ooh, I better not go do this because I've been told that this is scary or this is bad, and somebody for sure will do me harm, then yes, you would put yourself in harm's way. If you're saying this place is beautiful, it has so much to teach me and so much to help me unlearn, and I'm willing to be here for that unlearning, then it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful place, and one that you're going to talk about for a long time. They said, but the inverse can be true as well. If there are things that frighten you and you continue to say, I'm waiting for basically something bad to happen, they said, then that story will be told as well after the trip for a long time. But this is the pivotal point. This is a beneficial trip because for all the wonderful things that await you on this trip, wonderful and not always unicorns and rainbows, but you're going to learn so much about what perspective means, what the collective consciousness means, what energy means. And whether you immediately see it or not, you will come back a changed person. Your higher self says, I got my money on you though. It'll be for the better. Okay, so let's pull a card on that. Sue's saying birthday wishes to all our Geminis. Maybe we all have the best year ever. Heck yeah. Okay. Union. This makes so much sense, Colleen. What are we partnering with? And we make these decisions on a daily basis. And yes, I guess I understand what your higher self was saying, that we have our world here, the world we grew up in. We have these perspectives, and then we go to a different country and we place our previous experiences and knowledge and upbringing on a completely different group of people in a completely different part of the world. And that would definitely give us an experience, but if you're looking for a new experience, not just changing the location, then it would be changing your understanding of how a different society might work, or how energy works and how we attract ourselves to those energies. So it looks like a lot of good things are awaiting you in Italy, and yeah, it's gonna be quite the talk when you get back of all the ways well, they said you may not feel it immediately, but eventually you'll start to be like, wow, like I am different. You are interacting in the place that you live now differently because of that trip. So very cool, very cool. Let's see, let's go back here. All the butterflies for Dana. Says, have beautiful dreams, Nancy. Thank you for coming. Dana said, wow, yes, I love that. Angela said, birthday wishes, oh so near, will manifest for you, dear. Beauty and luck will follow you, success and fun in all you do. Be safe, but enjoy it all. Be well. Life is meant to be lived joyfully, not from within a shell. Amen. Amen for sure. And everybody wishing her a lovely trip, Love stonks. Hello. Good afternoon. How are you? Dana said, "Wow, Janine, with the tippy toes. Me too." And just says, were you toe walkers too? I did that for years. Me too. I love standing on the tippy. I thought I was a ballerina. Love Stunk says, I was watching this live without the chat on, then I realized I should click on it. You might be in here. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome. Glad you are here. Susie says, what a surprise. Love Stonks, welcome. She's my friend. Oh, awesome. She says, love the positive reading. Kayla, thank you. Oh, message from Eco, of course. And Dana, of course. Fiction Lady is saying to have fun in Italy, Colleen. And Dana is wondering, I meditated and a golden dragon popped up. Is there a message? Sure. All right. So let's get a message from Eco for Kayla. And then, yeah, we'll take a look into Dana's meditation. All right. Okay. Eco always has the most interesting visuals. So Eco showed up this time and I was like, Eco, why are you so dirty? Like I went to energetically in my mind, like petting his back. And like he's so dirty. And he's like, well then I need a bath. And so then there was this visual of you actually, giving him a bath. And then it was playing, I don't, is it a song or is it a jingle? But it says, "Gotta wash that man right out of my hair." I don't know, it's like from the 1950s or something like that. But it's washing things out. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. His images are coming in really fast, so I'll try to keep up. So he's talking about the hair on top of your head, and for him, his fur just covers his entire body. But he's saying in many cultures the head is sacred. In certain parts of the world it's not okay for a person who a family doesn't know to touch the head of their child. That's like a no-no because of the energy that's associated with hair and with the head. And Eco says we have to pay as much attention to the intuitive downloads that we get through this very area, as well as what we physically put into this area. And just like we want to put good food, he says, like, you want to put good food in my tummy, you want to put good food in your tummy. We have to think about what also we put into here, whether it's energetic or it's physical. And there's a reason why other cultures also believe in washing away. There are certain religions, such as Christianity, they talk about washing away one's sins. And he's saying it would be helpful that next time you are doing your healing sessions and you're doing your release work, he says there's so much that's attached to fur and to hair that if you want to do a visual of ritualistically washing it out of your hair, washing it away from your crown chakra, that this is not something that I want to take into my energy field. This is not something that is for my best and highest good. Then wash it away and let it go. But he says pay special attention to what's going in here, whether it's coming into our ears, but anything with the head. What are you listening to? What are you seeing? What kind of downloads are you getting? Is it a false download? Meaning, is it coming in actually from the ego, pretending to be your higher self? He's saying pay special attention to the head. And he says oftentimes when we need to pay more attention to what's going on here, we have more issues with the head. We run into things with our head, we bump our head. He says sometimes I would bump into things. But we have things that happen here to remind us, oh, we better pay extra special attention to what we're receiving from this part. He says, and next time you wash your hair, if you want to imagine I'm getting a bath too, that would be just fine. He says, I'm perpetually clean now, but you can imagine that too. All right. Awesome. Angela says, negativity will let go of you. Amen. Sue says, holding a safe space for no false flags. Beautiful. Let me go back here. I missed some messages. That's right. We have Dana message coming up. Love Songs is Big Mouth coming up. Or Big Month coming up. I can feel it. Yes, yes, me too, especially with birthdays. Fiction Lady says, Dana, I love dragons. That's cool. Angela says, that's from South Pacific, a sad musical. I thought about two couples who fell in love but couldn't due to the constraints against marrying someone from another country. One of the last ones was that she was going to wash that man right out of her hair so she could forget, or try to, if you love someone and others don't approve, take a step and be brave. Negativity can't beat love, it will be washed away. Don't let that negativity stick to you like glue. Cleanse, let it go. Nice. And Susie said, love stonks. I need to listen to Jordan today, but July, Aries, Libra, Axis, war themes coming up. Ooh. Okay, so Dana, let me go back into what you said here. Okay, so you had meditated and a golden dragon popped up. Okay, let's take a look into the golden dragon. You're very welcome, Kayla. Beautiful. Dana says, me too, fiction lady. The golden dragon popped up twice yesterday. All right. And Angela says, oh, Love Stonks, you're getting major downloads. I like your vibe. Very nice. Okay, the golden dragon. Okay. Dana, this was also a remembrance that I I forgot about it, but I've been seeing a dragon in my recent meditations, and I don't know why I had completely forgot about him. But he says he's coming to many people, and it's that many people take notice when they see a golden dragon. So that's the form it takes for people all over the planet. And he says, for many of you, it's time to step into your own golden dragon. Of course, the gold representing the sun represents source. So, source represents your true self, your true power, the power that lies beyond this planet, it lies beyond space and time. And oftentimes, as well, when we think about dragons, we think about fire breathing dragons. They're fierce, they fly, they breathe fire, they're massive. But these are all just symbols of what you all are. You are source, you are the sun. And this is a time for you to speak your truth, speak with authority. Because as we get closer to, he calls it the big shift, it's going to be important that you don't shy away from what your soul knows to be true and what's right for you. He says, I'm not going to sugarcoat. Things are going to become very scary to the ego of many people. They're going to be pushed down from their solar plexus into their root chakra. But this is a falling away. This is another chapter of choice. Do I go with the fear of my ego and fear of retaliation, or what people may think of me, or what may happen to this 3D space? Or do I step into the golden dragon? Do I breathe my fire? Meaning your magic, your healing. Fire is purification, it is healing. And will you learn to fly? Just like butterflies that you've been seeing. This is just a coming in with a message to remind you that your time of stepping into a version of yourself that you're still not quite aware of yet is coming. In essence, you step into the dragon. All right, Dana. Again, self-reliance. Self-reliance coming in strong. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Some of you guys had a lot to say. Love Song says dragon is a symbol of the sun. Dana said, I had the whiskers. Is that considered Eastern, Angela? Oh, you're talking about different types of dragons. Angela said, all that glitters is not gold pyrite. Shimmers to say, they say dragons have gnashing teeth, but I don't want to eat you. You all taste terrible, just so you know. Don't assume the trouble will come. Dragons are scary sometimes, sure, but also protective to some. Dana said, OMG, I have goosebumps. I felt so strong that I had a message for all of us. Love Song says, thanks, Angela. I follow many people such as Tara that help me. Well, thank you. Thank you. Dana said, I was in the sun meditating. Wow. Colleen says, I understand what you're saying. I have trepidation around going as I've never been to Europe before, and I have peers warning me of things to watch out for. Oh, interesting, Colleen. Angela says they're generally regarded as guardians. Gold means good, abundance, and good vibes. Well, treasure. So Susie's saying, Colleen, good vibes, safe travels. And she said, I heard there is a dragon under Harvard for real who lives there underground. Don't know if that's true. Interesting. Dana said, I'm blown away because I felt this message is for all those who listen. I'm so happy I asked about the dragon. Me too. She says, yes, the dragon was flying. Angela says, dragons have interesting mythos, sometimes villains, sometimes, hold on, the thing just scrolled up. Oh my goodness. Okay, sometimes teachers of humanity. I love dragons. If I ever saw one in meditation, I'd probably give it a hug. Dana says it came in from the Pleiadian energy. Interesting. And then Janine was talking to Dana about some journaling and the Eastern dragon. And she says, gosh, Tara, that was incredible. You're very welcome, Dana. Thank you. Thank you. Fiction Lady says, wow, this speaks truth and what I noticed. Dana said, my whole body is vibrating. I get some incredible syncs. Thank you so much. You are very welcome. Billy said, feeling so connected to the messages that are happening here tonight. Love and blessings, everyone. Gratitude. Well, thank you. Thank you guys so much. I will end the super stickers and super chats there so we can go into our healing, get back to hanging out with our family here. John says, they make me think of the feathered serpent. Ooh, kind of like Kukulkan or Quetzalcoatl. Very nice. But so many wonderful, powerful messages. And dude, I was feeling that dragon message too. I don't know how I forgot that was in my meditation. This is why I have to write things down. I think we should write things down because I forget so much of them. Wow. All right, you guys. So what I want to do is just get us into, oh, okay, sure. That's what the dragon said. Okay, so I'm going to get us into our little meditative space. And the visual I'm going to have for us is to have us to step inside a golden dragon. However you view the golden dragon, that's how you view it, and that's fine. So I'm going to have us do that. So you can stick around. That's fine. If you come back later, remember all this energy doesn't know space or time. You'll receive the healing sharing. Even the people who don't even know I have a live chat or even know who we are, that's fine. The energy is going to go out there. All right? So get nice and cozy, you guys. Bring your awareness to your breath. Just feel the rise and fall of your chest. You can take your right hand and place it on your heart. Feel the breath move in and out. Start to feel around your body any aches and pains, where you feel strong, where you feel less strong, areas that you feel need extra love. Feel the beating of your heart and send your blood, life force energy into those areas. And as we feel our own life force, our koyopa, moving throughout our bodies, from our eyes to our tippy toes, we stand now and look into the sun. It may appear bright, but it's okay. These eyes are protected. And as you look into the sun, you see a portal open. You see movement. Something emerges from this sun. Something just as gold, just as bright, just as warm, just as illuminating. And you have no fear. You're ready to embrace this entity, this energy that comes from the sun. You feel a kinship. You feel connected. As it comes closer, you see it to be a dragon. A powerful, beautiful dragon. This dragon looks so familiar. You feel nothing but love for this being. And as this massive golden being, this dragon, lands and stands before you, you look at it and see yourself, your own fire, air, water, earth, all wrapped up into one, just like you. And the dragon stands back and extends his powerful wings and opens what seems to be a portal inside of him. A portal within a portal. And you know that's safe to step into this being because this being is you. So you make movements forward. You step into the dragon. You immediately know, you feel unconditional love. You feel the power of the cosmos, the power that moves life itself. You say you've never felt power and love like this before, but you have. You're remembering it. And as the portal closes within this dragon, you've become the dragon. You feel your golden energy, your massive energy, your strength, your power, but also your kindness. You feel soul. You feel your fire, your passions. And now you have the wings to carry you to where you need to go. Breathe into this energy. Get to know this energy. And from now until all of our remaining days, we will keep this dragon with us until it's time for another layer of ourselves to be seen again. You are the golden dragon. When you're ready, go ahead and bring your awareness back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Ooh, have yourself a little stretch. And we're back. Whew. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of those who allowed me to read for you. I find that to be a blessing. I'm so grateful. Thank you to everybody who came into the chat today, all of your beautiful messages that you shared, all of the poems. They were wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you guys next Sunday. And yeah, I'll talk to my brother and see if he would like to do a live chat with me. I think it'll be a lot of fun, but I'll talk to him first, see what his schedule is. And to all the people who are having birthdays soon, I'm wishing you a happy birthday and yay, Gemini homies. So thank you guys so much. Catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.